Today's story is called The Growing Story and it's written by Ruth, Krauss and Helen Oxenbury. So Ruth, Krauss and Helen Oxenbury are the authors. Now this story is all about growing to help us with our topic, growing and living. I hope you've had a really fun day today looking at all your old baby pictures. I know all of the teachers in St Albert's had a really lovely time sending me their baby photos. So tomorrow we're going to put together a really fun quiz for you with all of the photos from all of the teachers in St Albert's. But for today we're going to read The Growing Story. A boy and a puppy and some chicks were all very little. Summer was coming, buds grew on the trees, the grass began to grow. On the side of the barn, flowers began to grow. The little boy said to his mother, "Everything is growing. The grass is growing, the flowers are growing, the trees are growing." He asked her, "Will the chicks grow?" "Of course," his mother replied. He asked her, "Will the puppy grow?" "Of course," his mother replied. Then he asked her, "Will I grow too?" "Of course you'll grow too," his mother replied. The days grew longer, the nights grew shorter. Ooh, what season do you think it's turning into? The grass grew faster and the flowers grew higher. Leaves grew big on the trees. The little boy said to the puppy and to the chicks, "We're growing too." The air was growing warmer. The little boy and his mother planted corn seeds in the field. His mother said, "We'll put away your warm woolen clothes. When summer is over, you'll put them on again." So there they are in the field, planting seeds. The little boy, his mummy, and the puppy. They folded up his warm trousers and put them away in a box. They folded up his warm coat and put it away in the box. The little boy climbed on a chair and put the box on the shelf. Maybe that's what you do with your winter clothes at the end of winter. Put them all away and get all your nice summer clothes out. The corn grew. Blossoms grew on the orchard trees. I wonder if anybody's seen any blossom in Pollock Shields. When I was out for my run yesterday to Maxwell Park, I saw loads of blossom, so many different kinds. I saw some lovely white blossom, some lovely pink blossom, some lovely purple blossom. So next time you're on a walk around Pollock Shields, look out for all the beautiful blossom trees that people have planted in their gardens. So it says, the corn grew, blossoms grew on the orchard trees, lilacs bloomed by the barn. The chicks grew taller and the puppy grew taller. The little boy said, "You both grew taller." He said to his mother, "They both grew taller, but I don't feel taller." He asked her, "Am I growing too?" "Oh, yes, of course," his mother replied. Little pears grew on the orchard trees. Little ears grew on the corn. The grass grew still faster. The chicks grew still taller. The puppy grew taller. The little boy looked in a mirror. He said to his mother, "The chicks have grown taller than my knee. The puppy has grown taller than my middle." "I don't look taller," he asked her. "Are you sure I'm growing?" his mother replied. Of course you're growing. The honeysuckle bloomed, the roses bloomed, the corn grew as high as a man, the pears were ripening, the chicks grew still taller again, the puppy grew still taller again. The little boy went alone and sat by the side of the barn. Oh, look. I wonder what he's thinking. Definitely looks like he's thinking about something, doesn't he? That's a good thinking face. He looked at the grass and the flowers. He looked at the trees and the corn. He looked at the puppy and looked at the chicks. He said, everything is still growing. I can see they're growing. He asked, can I really be growing too? Oh, wow, look. What's he collected from the trees? Just like our tree in the playground in St Albert's. We've got a lovely pear tree in the playground. Maybe I'll have to go along one of these days and collect all the pears. There'll be lots on the ground. Summer was growing to its end. The ripe pears fell. The days grew shorter. The nights grew longer again. The grass grew slower again. Oh, I wonder what season it's turning into now. When the leaves grew red and yellow and brown, summer was over. The corn was over. No flowers bloomed on the side of the barn. The chicks had grown up. The chicks were chickens. The chickens were nearly up to the little boy's middle. The puppy had grown up too. The puppy was now a dog. The dog was nearly up to the little boy's head. The little boy looked at the chickens and the dog. You both have grown up. I haven't grown up. I'm still little, the little boy said. The air had grown colder. The little boy's mother said, we'll take out your warm woolen clothes and put them on again. The little boy climbed on the chair and took down the box from the shelf. They took out his warm trousers from the box and unfolded them. They took out his warm coat from the box and unfolded it. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Do you think his clothes are still going to fit him? Or has he grown? The little boy put on his warm trousers again and looked in the mirror. My trousers are too tight. The legs are too short, he said. He put on the warm coat again and looked in the mirror. My coat is too tight. The sleeves are too short, he said. He put on his cap and ran out into the yard. He turned a somersault. He threw his cap in the air. Hey, the little boy said to the chickens and the dog. My trousers are too little and my coat is too little. I wonder why. Why is he so excited, do you think? Why is he excited that his trousers are too small and his coat is too small? What does that mean? It means, I'm growing too, he said as he somersaulted in the air. Wow, I bet he couldn't do that when he was a little baby. But now that he's grown up and he's a child, he's a boy, he can do a somersault. He must have been practicing that. He must have learnt it. So that's what we have to do when we're babies. We have to learn so many new things, just like you've been learning lots of new things. I wonder if you could have a go at doing something like that in your garden. The end. Oh, look, he's all grown up. That was when he was still little, and the chicks were still chicks. and they grew into chickens. So I wonder if you could have a chat to your mummy or daddy or adult or brother or sister about all of the things that you've learned since you were a baby. So that's what I put on the blog, something that you could do. You could say, when I was a baby, what sorts of things could you do as a baby? And then you say, now I'm a child, I can. What are the different things you can do now you're a child that you couldn't do when you were a baby? You've learnt so many things at school this year and at home. So have a chat with your adult about all of the different things that you couldn't do when you were a baby, but that you can do now that you're a child. There'll be so many for you to think about. Maybe you could write a list. Hope you enjoyed the story. See you tomorrow.